Who is the first one coming to your mind when you hear the word detective? No doubt it's Sherlock Holmes. What do you think about an Indian version of this great detective? Hold that thought. Welcome, guys, to Sealandom, the best channel to know about the entertainment world. Today, we bought you a special detective action thriller movie. The name is Thupparivalan, or in English, The Dashing Detective. It was released to the theaters in 2017, and it was written and directed by Mysskin. Before diving into the movie, don't be shy to press the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. So, let's get in. Are you a fan of Sherlock Holmes? If you are, then this movie definitely will remind you of the famous Baker Street Detective. Some of the characters in The Dashing Detective are somewhat based on the work of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. In fact, the creators gave their thanks to Sir Conan Doyle at the film's beginning. But the exciting thing is how the characters are portrayed according to Indian culture instead of Victorian culture. It is fair to say that the director Mysskin was successful at that. Mysskin has developed a gripping plot and narrated it in a style of his own. The film starts with an unknown man, Divakar, and his family celebrating his birthday. A sudden lightning strike kills him and his son and burns them to death. I know, gruesome death in the very first scene? Well, it's just getting started. Then, we are brought to a movie theater. There, a man gropes a woman, and a small commotion erupts, but it is quickly stopped by a man whom we will know later as Assistant Commissioner Paul. We can see some suspicious activities there, but we'll save that for later. Later in the middle of a police conference, Paul dies from something which could only be described as a weird heart attack. Then we get to see Canadian Pungundran, the dashing detective himself. He lives with his associate, Manohar, who kind of resembles Dr. Watson. And here, the director gives us a rough idea about the personality of Canadian. He is stressed about not having challenging work to satisfy him. Then we get to see his brilliant detective skills when a woman comes with a case, and he solves it without even looking at her twice. Later we can see his compassion when he refuses a job that would pay a lot of money because, if he solved the case, a woman might get hurt. Kanian and Manohar, whom we will call Kani and Mano, for short from this point forward, encounters a pickpocket named Malika in a subway. Kani takes a liking to her art of pickpocketing and invites her to his home. And now, the real story begins. A schoolboy named Naveen visits Kani and Mano with a case. Naveen tells them that his Pomeranian puppy Nemo has mysteriously died and gives them a bullet that he found after searching the body of the puppy. Kani asks what he will do if he finds the culprit, to which Naveen answers by saying that he just wants to know why he killed an innocent dog. Naveen then offers a polyethylene bag full of coins he collected from his pocket money as payment for finding the killer of his beloved pet. Moved by this, Kani accepts the case. Kani finds that it is a 9mm bullet that had been ricocheted from Nemo. After thoroughly investigating the crime scene, he finds a tooth. He takes the tooth to a doctor and tricks him into finding out about the tooth. The tooth happened to be a prosthetic that could be traced back to a man named Swarnaville. After some research, Kani finds out that he was formerly a university physics professor, and he divorced his wife because he blamed her for the death of their son. Most recently, he was living alone and working as a stockbroker. Malika once came looking for Kani and told him about her living situation, where she has 2 younger siblings to take care of while her uncle drinks the day away. She was given a choice by her uncle to be a prostitute or a thief. She chooses to be the latter. Kani sends her to a job saying pickpocketing is off limits to her, but later, he catches her again with both her siblings in the act. Infuriated by this, Kani goes to their house and beats their uncle so that he would treat the kids well. Then Malika comes to work for Kani as a housekeeper. Meanwhile, a shady man named Kamalesh visits a travel agency to deliver a sofa. It seems weird at first, but then we see it is stashed with money. Here, we get the first look at the villains of this story. At first glance, they look just like an average family until we see the dead body in their refrigerator. They are a crime family consisting of 5 people. They run the travel agency as a front for their other, more illegal, business contract killing. Their leader is called Devil, and the other members consist of a girl named Preetha, an old man who only identifies as uncle, a bald man, and a big strong-looking man. The shady man, Kamlesh, acts as their broker. Uncle finds out about Connie's investigation of Swarnaville and orders some thugs to kill Connie and Mano. Connie manages to beat the thugs, but before he can question their leader, he escapes to the uncle. To clear the loose ends, the strongman assassin then kills the thug leader. Later, some policemen, namely Police Inspector Madhivanan and ACP Vijayakumar, come to meet Connie in his home. After they asked for help in the investigation of Paul, the deceased police commissioner, Connie remembers a news article about an incident that involved the deaths of Divakar and his son. So, he goes to Mrs. Divakar's house and asks her what exactly happened that night her husband died. She reveals that thunder occurred in the beginning, followed by lightning, which struck Divakar and their son. Connie realizes that what she describes is the opposite of how normally thunder and lightning work, as in the thunder follows the lightning because the speed of light is faster than the speed of sound. Connie also finds that Swarnaville was present at a nearby construction site on the day of the incident. He then concludes that it was artificial lightning devised by Swarnaville to kill Divakar. When the assassins learn that Connie is on their tail, Devil disposes of the body of Swarnaville, who was killed earlier and kept in their refrigerator. Devil cuts the body into pieces with the aid of a chainsaw, calmly sipping a cup of coffee all the while. To find out more about the motive of the murder, Connie and Mano visit Divakar's office and learn that a tender that was to be awarded to Divakar is now with Ram Prasad, the chairman and head of the software company that Divakar competed with. So, they went to him, but before they could reach Ram Prasad, he was lured to his vehicle by the assassin uncle with the false news of his son's kidnapping. While Ram Prasad is on the road, his driver turns on the air freshener because a dead rat was found in the car. What they didn't know was that the rat was planted there by the uncle and his partner, the bold guy. The air freshener was also planted by them, which is actually filled with nitrous oxide, or more commonly, known as laughing gas. Because of the laughing gas, Ram Prasad's driver loses control of the vehicle, which results in causing an accident, and they both die on the spot. Later, we see Devil going to meet Kamlesh at a hotel and explain that Ram had to die in order to save their gang's secrecy. Infuriated that their client had to be killed, Kamlesh hires some Chinese mercenaries to kill Connie under the pretext of inviting him and Mano to a Chinese restaurant. Connie defeats them after realizing the threat and finds out about Kamlesh's involvement. With the help of the police, Connie goes after Kamlesh, but he is seduced and killed by Preetha before they arrive at Kamlesh's room. Connie sees the bold man in the hotel's lobby and gets suspicious of him, so he rushes to the room only to find the dead body of Kamlesh. He sees Preetha in the corridor and pursues her on foot until she tries to escape by a motorcycle. A police chase occurs as Preetha and the bald man race through the streets on their bikes, but they are later cornered from all sides. Having no other choice, the bald man kills himself by performing seppuku. This gives Preetha an opportunity to escape the scene without getting noticed by Kano or the police. Then she goes to her criminal family and tells them about the death of their fellow assassin, making them want to kill Connie more. The following day, Connie finds out that Malika doesn't have many clothes, so he takes her shopping with Mano. In the shopping mall, Preetha makes an attempt to kill Connie but was failed due to a heroic save from Malika. Worried because of the cut she had while saving him, Connie blames Malika first, but he kisses her hand later as a sign of his love for her. Then we see the uncle in a laboratory dressed in a lab coat making something with special care. The item he is creating looks like a bullet, but much small. Later, Connie and Mano meet Police Inspector Madhivanan and ACP Vijayakumar in a restaurant where yet another failed assassin attempt is made. The uncle plans to inject Connie with a poison dart, which is the item that he made before in the lab, but Mano is caught in the crossfire. Connie realizes that something is wrong with Mano, and Mano is rushed to the hospital. They learn that Mano was hit by the same dart as Paul. Connie goes to the theater to confirm this and gets to know that on the same day, 3 tickets were booked by the same person but in different rows. He gets the address from the credit card details, which lead directly to the travel agency of the assassins. They raided the travel agency, but they were too late as they found the place empty. But they find the lab and the machine that can generate artificial lightning, along with some physics books related to lightning. Connie conducts an experiment to see if the machine really works, and it manages to create artificial lightning. This successfully convinces the police that Connie was right all along. Then we see another member of the crime family going down. The uncle is killed by Devil because all the paper trails lead to him. The uncle does not try to escape him or fight back, but he kills his sick wife with his last breath, giving her a peaceful death by him instead of the bloodthirsty Devil. Meanwhile, we see Preetha delivering a bag, which we could only assume is money, to 2 black guys who look like military. Connie receives a threat via phone message saying that someone close to him is going to die. Feared by this threat, he hurries to the hospital to ensure that Mano is safe, but after getting there, they both realize that Malika is home alone. They rush to the home, but it was too late. They could not save Malika in time as she was stabbed by Devil. Connie cries heartbrokenly as she is dying in the kitchen, saying she shouldn't have changed because of him, but she gives him a phone saying that she was always a pickpocket with her last breath. It turns out that Malika had pickpocketed Devil's mobile when he stabbed her. After checking the mobile phone, Connie finds out about the inspector who was keeping Devil informed about all the moves and the status of the investigation. It was quite a shock to discover that Inspector Madhivanan, the policeman who first came asking for Connie's help, was the informer for Devil. While interrogating the traitorous inspector, they find out the truth about all these murders and how they shared the money amongst themselves. Then we get to know about the murder of that innocent dog, which was the root of all these investigations. After receiving the contract from Ramprasad to kill Divakar, Devil recruits Swarnaville to create the lightning generator. After their somewhat successful assassination, Swarnaville started to break down because an innocent kid got killed, which reminded him of his own son. He said he was going to surrender to the police and confess his crime. Even though Devil tried to stop him, he managed to escape. But before he was able to contact the police, Devil captured him and beat him at a beach, where a tooth spilled out, which later became the primary evidence for Connie's investigation. After beating Swarnaville, Devil shot him on the beach. Naveen's dog, Nemo, happened to be there at the same time, and he barks at Devil. Angered by this, Devil shot the poor dog. The mystery has finally been solved, but not the story. Connie, Mano, and a police team go in search of Devil in a mangrove forest. They were welcomed by 2 snipers who were the black guys Preetha had paid before. Some of the team die in this attack, and the whole team is scattered in the forest without knowing that there are traps laid all around the forest. All of the police officers die except Connie, Mano, and Vijaya Kumar. After separating from the others, Connie sneaks behind one sniper, and after a hard fight, Connie kills him with a stick in his ear. The other sniper also gets killed by Vijaya Kumar, who later gets attacked by the strong big man in the assassin family. Hearing their cries, Mano comes to help the police officer, and together, they drown the assassin. Connie falls into the trap of Preetha, but he manages to get away from her trap and then gets into a fight with her. Preetha got stabbed in the fight. She runs to get the wound treated by Devil, who has camped in a tent beside the river. While Devil is treating her injuries, Vijaya Kumar tries to sneak up on him, but his foot gets caught in a bear trap hidden in the water. Devil captures him and orders him to call Connie, but because of his lack of obedience, Devil stabs his foot, saying to call him. Vijaya Kumar still refuses to call the detective, so the Devil changes his plan. He goes to the tent and shows up with Naveen, the owner of the dog he shot. He threatens the innocent child whom he seems to have kidnapped from school and forces him to call for Connie. But Connie shows up without a thought and gets captured by Devil. Connie is tied by a rope, but Mano is still undetected, so he tries to free Connie from his ties. To buy time for him, Connie reveals how he managed to uncover Devil's backstory and tells him that the police have been informed of the same. Infuriated by this, Devil tries to stab Connie, but Mano manages to untie him just in time. In the ensuing scuffle, Connie gains the upper hand despite their more or less equal size and skill in hand-to-hand combat. Eventually, Connie kills Devil. In Devil's dying moments, Naveen asks the reason for killing his dog, and Devil tells Naveen that he is sorry for killing Nemo and falls into the river. Then, Connie, Mano, and Naveen take a boat and return. As the last scene of the movie, it shows Naveen, who returns home from school one afternoon, and he finds a Pomeranian puppy along with a note bearing Kanian's name in a basket at his doorstep. Well, folks, that's it for the plot. So, let's talk about the film itself. Thupparivalan is a visual treat as the cinematography and music go hand in hand to uplift Mysskin's vision. Cinematographer Karthik Venkatraman's lighting and subjective camera movements work well for the script. Some of the tension is created by the lingering camera or a nervous off-screen pan. Errol Karolyi's symphonic background score with the violin dominating is another highlight. The editing is smooth and has the very distinct Mysskin flow. The action scenes were very well constructed. There are 3 to 4 solid action blocks that could go well with the masses. The love portions may not work for some since it is between 2 weird characters that you don't get to see often. But the friendship of Nai and Mano was portrayed to the point of perfection. The director Mysskin has once again come up with a heavily inspired work. And that marks the end of this video. Did you like it? Let us know by hitting the like button, and don't forget to let us know which is your favorite part of the movie in the comments section. We really don't mind if you go crazy in there. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.